Let Trump build! 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 Let Trump build!
He's listening right now!
Let Trump build! 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 Let Trump build!
He said,
I was asked by Steve Carley, he said, you know, I'm building a place, I'm trying to get it done right here. It's a mess. The boardwalk is a mess. It's almost like slum-like conditions. The building, as you know, was bankrupt and falling down. It's a real disaster. I've been working on it for 5 years, Mr. Trump. I would love to do it with you. I said, I have no interest. Where is it? Jones Beach. I said, I used to go to Jones Beach with my parents. Let me take a look. It is not a big deal for me, but it's a deal that will produce 1,000 construction jobs and at least 500 jobs permanent all the time. And maybe even more important, it'll be a great boost for Jones Beach, and it needs a boost. So I said to Steve Martin, let me take a look at it. I love Jones Beach because I used to travel there with my parents and go there a lot. So I came over and I saw this building that was dilapidated, closed, and which, by the way, had a big basement. Okay, it had a basement. The building that was there had a basement. So what happened was very simple. I went out, and by the way, I have to tell you, there are hundreds and hundreds of people here. There are 3 protesters, and the protesters, because of the media, the protesters will get more publicity than the people that are here, and that's the sad part. And that's part of what's wrong with our system. That is the sad part. You'll have 3 people and hundreds of people. The 3 people will get more. So it's too bad. The other thing I have to say, this was not my rally. I have nothing to do with this rally. This was a rally that was put on by David and people that I just met who want this building to be built. So we come out, I look at it, I agree, and after years of negotiation, we sign a deal, and the deal was approved. We then go to build the building. We knocked down the garbage that was on the site. We're all set to start. We gave out our permits. We gave out piling. We had all the permits from the state. A new parks commissioner named Carol Ash comes on, who's grossly incompetent. Fire. She comes on. That's right, you're fired. I mean, grossly, and I can't even tell you how incompetent. In fact, it's sort of interesting because, as you know, I gave 2 huge parcels of land to the New York State Parks Department on the Taconic Park. It's like the most beautiful parks. I gave the land a few years ago, and I'm very proud to have done it. So I understand parks, I understand Parks Department. So we start the building, we have our permits, the building is gorgeous, beautiful. It would have been up 3 years already. Wow. It would have been completed. I remember when Tiger was hot, he was gonna have his party in our building before the US Open. That's how long ago. And so what happens is we get a notice, this is after we got the permit, we get a notice that they don't want a basement. I said, well, we always had a basement, and we have a permit for a basement, and that's where the kitchen was. You know, a minor detail. It's nice to have a kitchen. Oh, look, somebody stole my helicopter. So what happens is I say, we always had it. So we start arguing, and they say, we're not going to let you build it unless you get rid of the basement. They said, because in case it rains and it floods, we don't want people in the basement. I said, that's fine, but if it's going to rain and flood, people are going to walk out of the basement, I think, right? And the previous building had the basement. So we started this whole process. They wouldn't let us build the facility that they had already given us permits to build. So we stopped. We have a number of millions of dollars invested. We have magnificent plans. We have all specs. We had great contractors already signed up that we had to tell them, you can't do the job. I'm sorry, the state won't give us the permit. And it was a very sad situation. So we sued the state. And we came before one of the most respected judges in New York State, Judge Warshawski. And Judge Warshawski gave us a 100% decision. And he reprimanded in his decision the state. How can you possibly stop a $25 million building from being built that's going to produce jobs, that was properly approved, that was just... So, we won the case. Instead of coming to us and saying, let's negotiate, let's get this thing built, you know what the state did? They appealed. And that's where we are right now. It's 4 years later. This could have been opened for 3 years already. It's a very sad situation. I can only tell you this. I appreciate that I really do. I appreciate that you invited me to this rally. If it's ever built, I don't know, probably you have to call the governor or somebody. The problem with New York, and I deal all over the world, I'm building all over the world. New York is one of the most unfriendly, New York State, one of the most unfriendly places, and is rated the 50th most unfriendly state for jobs. I mean, it's terrible.
And Nassau County's even worse.
And you know, we just had an election where a very good man, Bob Turner, was elected yesterday. And I didn't even know this. But now I realize because New York is losing its population because people are leaving because of taxes and regulation and crap like we're going through over here. So they're leaving. So we're going to actually lose 2 Congress people. We're going to lose 2 congressmen over the next period of time. So New York is in big trouble. We will do a beautiful job. If they want us to do it, we'll do a beautiful job. They should stop with the appeal. They should call us. We should start construction. We can literally start tomorrow morning. Remember, it's 1,000 construction jobs. It's 500 permanent jobs, and maybe even more than that. And most importantly, it's going to be the diamond of Jones Beach. Bob Moses, I was a big fan of Robert Moses. Robert Moses would be really proud if he was going to.